Good morning, guys. Petko here. I just woke up not so long ago. It's currently 8 o'clock in Europe, but once I was getting out of bed, I saw they have once again posted class changes. As I already guys told you, you're gonna see class changes almost every single week until the heroic week, which is around the 10th, between the 15th of September. So, not surprised, let's dive right into them. First thing first, we have a tuning of Frostfire Mage. It seems to be getting nerfed. Again, doesn't really matter. Most of the time, as a Frostfire, especially as a Frost Mage, you are playing Spellslinger. So that's completely irrelevant. Now, perhaps this could obviously affect the other mage specs that play Frostfire. Specifically talking about Frost, because right now Fire is pretty dead. It would not change much. You are still gonna play Spellslinger. Nothing to worry about. Next thing, Monk. Okay, so this is something that I've been saying for a long time. Monk needed more adjustments, and I'm very happy that they're getting more and more buffs. First of all, mastery right now got buffed by, I think this is roughly 15% buff, which is huge. Rising Sun Kick also seems to be getting a buff, which is again amazing for most a single target. Another buff, so Windwalker Monks, the damage output will go higher and higher. Keep them coming, you know. One of the most fun specs right now to play on melee. Extremely pleasant, so I'm happy to see that going. Good thing for them. They needed, I think. Seems like Outlaw Rogue got some value changes here. I'm not sure if that is a buff or not. Assuming we haven't tested anything, well, I just woke up. It seems to be like a modifier on Outlaw Mastery, which Mastery was kind of useless. If my member doesn't evade me, you never really wanted to go for heavy mastery, but again, they're trying right now to push it a bit further in. Sure, I will take it. It's still gonna give us slightly more DPS, but again, nothing major. Second thing we have here, Vengeance DH is getting the needed nerfs. This is damage nerfs to Fairy Brand. Fair enough. I think they're not that big. It's just 20%, not a big deal. They're nerfing Fail Scared, by quite a significant manner. This is only for Havoc, and this is only for Vengeance. It seems like they're buffing Demon Search, which is something that I don't quite understand, as Demon Search was already doing a shit tons of damage. But I guess they're nerfing everything else, like for example, Burning Blades and Flame Bound, which is gonna nerf the damage, which right now damage is not the issue. Currently, Vengeance DH has a build, if you guys are not aware. I think it's AR build of Draki Reaver, which makes you pretty much immune to taking damage. I was playing yesterday with some guys, and they had like 1.5 million HPS, and they were pretty much, if you guys don't know, Necrotic Wake, the first pool, the large pool, they were doing 6 packs at a time by themselves and living for 3-4 minutes without a hitter. There's some kind of a build right now. I have to dig up the talents. Yesterday we were showcasing and talking about it on stream. Apparently makes you have insane high HPS and very, very tanky, which that's the only thing that Vengeance needed. Vengeance were already top DPS. Vengeance already synced the best with a group comp because of caster meta. Vengeance had already the most tops. It has a kills brand. They were only lacking to be the best survivability tank. Right now, without Bug, they are. Obviously, that's probably going to get fixed. But keep in mind, we're 9 days away from the expansion. So, time is running out. I hope that they will fix it so other tanks can shine better than them. PvP multiplier on the Frostfire once again. Well, I'm not gonna cover PvP, so it's obviously a nerf. Nerf as well on the reactive barrier. PvP multiplier. I don't really cover PvP, so yeah, that's about it. There seems to be a Mystiver Monk buff on Vivify by another 20%. They keep on buffing, by the way, Monk. I think last time around they also got some HPS buffs. Buffing here on the Restoro, which is a talent that you pretty much play Revival most of the time in Mythic Plus. So yeah, buff to Vivify, buff to Revival. They're trying to make it a little bit more meaningful to press as a button. Obviously, that's gonna affect Mythic Plus and the rating altogether, but I'm just talking about specifically from Mythic Plus point of view. So that's about it. We're having here a nerf to Restoration Druid. Okay, that is quite interesting. Last week they nerfed Paladin heavily, which pretty much put Restoration Druid and the Restoration Shaman with Preservation Evoker on top, like slightly further in. So now they're nerfing HPS of Druid, which is actually not the highest. It's you know, they were buffing the Restoration Druid HPS for a long time. Now they decided to nerf it. Okay? So yeah, Regrowth, Death Touch, Swiftment as well seems to be getting some kind of a value nerf here by 10%. Again, I'm not sure if that is a 22% nerf or not. I gotta go and test it out after that, see what's up. Seems like Groove Guardians also got a nerf. This seems to be around 10%. 10% nerf on the Live Bloom, 10% nerf on the Tranquility. Actually, maybe a little bit more than 10%. Maybe like 15% nerf on Tranquility. Yeah. Wild Synergetic also 10% nerf. They're increasing the mana cost of Rejuvenation from 2.2% base mana to 5% base mana, which is kind of huge right now in my opinion. So yeah, overall heavy nerfs on the HPS. Nothing for DPS. They're still gonna be amazing on the DPS part of it. This is gonna open the door. This might open the door for the Restoration Shaman and Preservation Evoker to actually enter the competitive scene. I wouldn't be surprised. This is again, there might be encounters on high tyrannical keys where HPS is needed to survive, and if Druid don't heal that much, then you know there's some other obvious choices. So yeah, I'm not totally surprised. Well, I feel like people are very rebellious against Druids. They don't want to see them again to be a meta spec, because if you guys already don't know that, the Restoration Druid has been meta for close to being a year right now, Mythic Plus, so people want to see a change, understandably. Moving forward, Holy Paladin. Holy Paladin got gutted last week. Well, gutted is a very strong word, but got nerfed heavily last week. People were mad about it. Seems like this week they're trying to push a little bit on a positive side. Crusader Strike has been buffed by a large margin here. It seems to be like 45% buff. This could be even more than that. I need to reevaluate and see the value, but first initial reaction, this seems to be a 45% buff on Crusader Strike. Crusader Fire too. There's some talent repositioning. Divine Relations, Holy Infusion, Liberation, Moment of Compassion. Resplendent Light. I don't know how to pronounce that one, sorry. Tower of Radiance. This is the old tree, and this appears to be the new one, I think. Right? Or maybe that's the new one, that's the old one. I'm not too sure. I already forgot about it. But either way, we're gonna go log in later on and try to see what's up. Honestly, this to me, uncertain if it sounds like a nerf or a buff, but historically, ever since they have introduced changing of talents, there has never been really a nerf to that. So that has to be a positive change. I will dig some information later on, try out things myself, talk to some people, and maybe attach some more comments on behalf of Holy Paladins later in a chat or as a pinned message on top. So yeah. I believe one more thing here to talk about is Discipline Priest getting the much needed buffs. These appears to be a damage buffs on behalf of Discipline, which honestly is probably also going to translate in healing buffs, because the more damage you do, the more you heal. You got a 5% buff on everything here. Smite, Holy Fire, what else? Holy Nova, Mind Blast, Shadow Word Pain, you know. The Divine Star, Searing Light, Schism, everything pretty much you use as a offensive ability got buffed by 5%, which is obviously a good way to close the gap between the top performing specs and bottom performing specs, like Discipline was. Discipline was a bottom performing spec. That will likely not change with these changes, but again, 5% doesn't seem to be big enough for them to be out of the dirt. They might be just okay now though. They were underperforming last week. After these buffs, they just might be okay for now. But again, Napkin Mat, I haven't tested anything. I'm about to this week, so keep in mind. And I think last but not least, is Rogue Deathstalker got buffed, which is very insane to me, because Assassination Rogue and Sub Rogue are playing Deathstalker, or in general have an option to play Deathstalker even if you don't want to play it. And it seems to be getting a buff. Fatal Intent gets a buff. Flow of the Blood gets a buff. Deathstalker Mark got a buff. Contour Down, Lingering Darkness, Momentum Despair got a buff. Now, again, those are not really big buffs, so it's like 20% buff-ish on most of the spells here. But keep in mind, they might have fixed something on the tree to make them do less damage, so they will compensate with buffs. I don't know if that's certain, because if those are just flat-out buffs without fixing any existing bugs that reduces their damage or increases their damage, then that would make no sense, because Assassination Rogue is already the top performing spec in Mythic Plus, or one of the top specs in Mythic Plus, and Sub Rogue is doing also fantastic, obviously not as good as Assa. So generally speaking here, I need to do a research and see if they have actually stealth fixed any existing bugs that gave them more damage. So now they're trying to compensate by buffing Deathstalker. Uncertain, but whether or not that is the case, you got buffed here. And this is the most surprising change. Kidney Shot is now an 8 seconds cooldown. 8 seconds duration, by the way. So 1 Kidney Shot is 8 seconds stun. That is insanely high. Keep in mind, last week they nerfed Kidney Shot, made it 30 seconds cooldown instead of 20 seconds, but this week they decided, you know what, maybe we just fucked up. Let me give 8 seconds max stun on your Kidney Shot. And keep in mind, if Augmentation Invoker uses the ability to extend any crowd control spells by 50%, you're gonna have like, you know, 12.5 or like almost 30, like let's say 12 seconds stun if Augmentation or in general any Evoker uses the crowd control extension on your spells, which is kind of insane, you know. So I don't know. This is probably gonna be more of a PvP change than the Mythic Plus, but it's gonna help you have a better mob control in Mythic Plus, because if you stun one mob for like 8 seconds, it just does nothing, you know. It's insane. Anyway, guys, that's everything for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. We're gonna hop on stream in the next following hours to test out most of these changes, see what's up, see exactly what's happening here. But again, I would say the biggest take would be here: don't settle. Things will change. There's still a month before the season, 10 days before the expansion. Changes are gonna keep rolling. There might not be as many as last week or the weeks before, but they will keep on rolling. Peace out. Have a good one. I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.